Hi, everybody. As always, we have technical issues just at the last minute, so I kind of was getting worried. But this is the 10th episode. Can you imagine that? I started making myself literally as something I wanted to do myself. And it has just taken such great momentum. We've had some really, really amazing people on board. Last week was so special because we had Ricky Cage, someone who's been doing some amazing work. But I thought the 10th episode had to be like really momentous. And it can't get more momentous than getting somebody who I've known for the last 10 years. And we pretty much hit it off from the first day we met. And I'm not speaking of anybody else, but
Yay!
Gunjan Utreja. How are you, man?
I am doing great. I have been doing great. लॉकडाउन में मैं मच्छर मार रहा हूँ.
Oh, God. या मच्छर तो काफी बढ़ गए हैं वैसे तो इट इज अ लिटिल स्कैरी.
ये अच्छा ये एंट्री इससे हो जाएगी.
Gunjan, doesn't it feel a little weird? I mean, you are a pro in this, talking to people, interviewing them, and anchoring, and now you're on the other side. So,
Just
does
wait
it
for
feel
5
weird?
minutes. Just wait for 5 minutes. मैं एक बार शुरू होऊंगा आपको लगेगा ये आदमी खुद ही से सवाल पूछ रहा है, खुद ही से जवाब दे रहा
वो भी सही है. I can be the audience then.
है. It's a bad habit I'm trying to change. In lockdown, I've interviewed a lot of people and I've given interviews as well. So there are times where it is a bit difficult for me to hold back. कि भाई तू जवाब दे रहा है, तू host नहीं है, relax रह.
Tell me something, Gunjan. You actually come from my Sasral, so
Yeah.
Chandigarh, and so the bond is even stronger, I guess, and
Oh
that's why
yes.
we possibly hit it off from when we met. But tell me something, Gunjan. I mean, I'm sure this is something that you've spoken to other people about, but I'd love to, hear from you again if it is a repeat. Uh, what was your background? I mean, how did what you're doing now actually happen?
I think I always wanted to be in front of TV. Ever since I saw Movers and Shakers back in the day, there was another show called Bit Bit Boom, which Shaker Suman used to host. There was a show called Public Demand, which Roshan
Hmm.
Abbas used to host. Gaurav Kapoor on Channel V. I saw all these people while I was in school, and I was like, "Boss, jo karna hai, TV pe karna hai." I had no idea how to get into TV. It's like even today, if you ask people, if they're reading a magazine or a newspaper, they don't know, that कि वो कौन लिखता है, and there are millions of people who are involved in getting that, single page out. Similarly, I had no
Right.
idea. We were in an era pre-internet, pre too much information. चंडीगढ़ में था यार, इतना ज्यादा कुछ पता नहीं था. But I think मेरे को आज भी याद है, मैं किसी को बता रहा था, हमारे स्कूल वाले हमको लेके गए थे लिम्का बुक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स का क्विज देखने के लिए. तो सिद्धार्थ बासु जो थे वो शो होस्ट कर रहे थे.
Okay.
सब लोग एक्साइटेड थे दो चीजों के लिए. एक तो फ्री लिम्का मिलेगी और फ्री लिम्का बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड मिलेगी. बच्चे थे हम. और मैं एक्साइटेड था बिकॉज दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई सॉ सिद्धार्थ बासु एंड आई वाज ब्लोन अवे. I had seen a live
Right.
actor, and I was like, wow, the way he conducts, the session, his personality, everything. I was blown away. So I think वो बचपन से एक जिसको कहते हैं ना हम पंजाबी में कीड़ा तो था. I had no idea, and it just happened that Channel V came to Chandigarh in 2001 because of pop stars. So
Yes.
somebody called. I was in college, and they said, यार पैसे मिलेंगे, 100 रुपए मिलेंगे, पैम्फलेट बांटना चैनल वी के साथ घूम के. ऐसे क्या पैसे भी दोगे? Wow. So I saw Gaurav Kapoor and I saw all these people, and so it gave me a first-hand, the up-close information about what is happening in this world, and I found a way to enter this world. I always wanted to be on
How?
TV, so
So
that's
how
why
did that happen? Because
so
yeah.
that's why कि मेरे को ये पता था कि ये इवेंट मैनेजमेंट में कि उस समय ना इंडिया वाज चेंजिंग. रियलिटी शोज नए नए शुरू हुए थे. 2001 की मैं
Correct.
बात कर रहा हूँ. इट वाज अ बिग डील
Correct.
फॉर ऑल चैनल बी, एमटीवी. सो मैं पैम्पलेट्स बांटता था यार वहाँ पे. मतलब मेरे को आज भी याद है गौरव कपूर वाज ऑन स्टेज और मैं नीचे खड़ा होकर पैम्पलेट, आइए आइए आप भी ऑडिशन दीजिए, आप भी ऑडिशन दीजिए. एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू एंड आई यूज्ड टू लव इट. I was, the king of the world, hanging out with the VJs of Channel V. And I thought that, yes, probably if I get in touch with event managers, then I can, be a host as well. बट तब भी ये नहीं पता था कि इसको आप प्रोफेशन बना सकते हैं. दिस वाज अ पार्ट टाइम हॉबी. दिस वाज समर जॉब फॉर अस. एंड आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर माय एमबीए. And while preparing
Hmm.
for MBA, I was also doing these odd jobs. It's not odd jobs. I mean, these were like, jobs which were being offered. I remember मैं हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स में अखबार बेचता था, सब्सक्रिप्शन बेचता था.
Okay.
आप भी आते होंगे, आपके
Yeah.
हमारे घर पे आते हैं कि सर ये ले लीजिए, कूपन है, आप ले लीजिए.
Right.
So I
Right.
used to
Right.
I used to go door to door, sell these newspaper subscriptions and other things. But I think I was always creative because I remember this thing, in a lot of business ideas which I keep sharing with a lot of people. We were told to do few subscriptions a day, and we were asked to go
Hmm.
door to door. And I suggested, sir, आपको subscription से मतलब है कि door to door जाने में मतलब है? So he said, subscription से मतलब है. So I'm going to come back to this story and learning. So it just
Right.
happened. I was in sector 17. अगर आपका ससुराल है तो आपको पता होगा sector 17 is the hot spot. I
Of
was
course.
again selling newspapers for a subscription ले लीजिए, and I bumped into an event manager. And
Okay.
he said, आप बात बहुत अच्छी करते हैं. Would you host a show for us? My anchor's unwell.
Oh
And
my God. Okay.
grown up to see Siddharth Basu, Shekhar Suman, Roshan Abbas, Gaurav Kapoor. I'm like, this is the moment. Tell me what I need to do. So Live in Jeans
Right.
का show था, 350 रुपए मिले थे वो show करने के. He loved my work and he said, I'm going to sign you up for the next 3 months. Every weekend, this is going to be the activity. And people, it's a small city, right? So people saw
Yeah.
me. Event management business was booming. All these road shows were happening. Airtel, Spice, Telecom, Pepsi.
Hmm.
They were pulling in money, Mountain Dew. I remember these brands because they were the first brands I, performed for. And I just got busy. I started making money. And I remember I got selected for I Am Lucknow. And my mentor, Harsh Wij, at that point of time he said, it's a great opportunity because you've cracked IMs. You're going to be phenomenal at what you do. But I think you're an entertainer at heart. Just follow this. You're meant for
Okay.
big things, just more than, this degree. And I took his advice and I said, okay, chalo, theek hai. I came back to Chandigarh, did my mass comm, did my master's in dramatics, and educated myself in the field of entertainment or anything which was closer to entertainment. And then came
Yani,
to
that means you didn't do the IIM, which you got.
I'm a dropout. In fact, I didn't even go there because I just got selected. And I'm telling you, it's all because of Harsh, who's a very close friend of mine, who's in New Zealand right now. We
Right.
used to do career planning and development seminars as to how you can plan. And one of the key things which I still remember, he said, people plan their lives for the first 25 years. कि मैं स्कूल में पढ़ रहा हूँ, अच्छा मैं ये क्रैक करूंगा, मेरी नौकरी लग जाएगी, फिर मैं गाड़ी ले लूंगा, फिर मैं घर ले लूंगा. But आप 26 because 60 तक, I mean, if you have to retire, that is the age
Right.
nobody plans for. Because you go to,
Yeah. Yeah.
drag. So, the term Monday blues, you're waking up, you're dragging yourself to work, and I'm like, acha, aisa bhi hota hai. So those are the people who never planned from 26 to 60. So it hit me really hard, and I said, yeah, baat to sahi hai yaar. And now, look where I am. I mean, there's no Sunday, there's no Monday. I'm always excited. You tell me any time of the day. I'm happy to shoot up. My schedule's been busy. We wanted to do it, I think, yesterday, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I've been traveling. I've been doing 20 things in a day. I'm just happy, blessed. Yeah.
But Chandigarh se Bombay kaise hua? I mean, how did that move happen? That shift happen? Was it just projects after projects, or did you take a specific decision there?
No. It was a very very specific decision because at that point of time, before I got selected for MBA, I was just like another college going guy जिसको कुछ पता नहीं है. उससे पहले मैं 5 और कोर्सेज में एनरोल कर चुका था. NIIT जा चुका था, कोई ये कंप्यूटर कोर्स कर चुका था, जहाँ पे जो मिलता था वो कर लेता था, क्योंकि जिसमें अपॉर्चुनिटी लगती थी, यार कंप्यूटर्स का स्कोप है, ये कर लो, अच्छा इसका स्कोप है, ये कर लो. बट आई रिमेंबर मैंने 2 या 3 महीने से ज्यादा कहीं पे बिताए नहीं, बिकॉज आई थिंक माई हार्ट वाज़न्ट देयर. MBA किया because my heart wasn't there. And I knew, and thanks to Harsh, because I go back, because I found this amazing human being at the age of 21 who guided me. And I think I always knew what I wanted to do. It's just that he channelized my energy. He was like, go ahead with it. And it was a big decision, yaar. When you're in a middle class, मुझे याद है मेरे एक अंकल बैठे हुए थे मेरे साथ, तो उन्होंने कहा बेटा एक बात बताओ कितने पैसे कमाते हैं. मैंने कहा अंकल 350 रुपए. तो कहते बेटे अगले 2 साल में कितने शोज कर लोगे. मैंने कहा अंकल मैं कर लूंगा, कुछ 100 शोज तो कर ही लूंगा. तो कहते बेटा कितने पैसे हो गए. मैंने कहा अंकल 3.5 लाख रुपए हो गए. कहते वेरी गुड मैन. तो कहते अब अगर आप ये 2 साल आई एम लखनऊ में बिताएंगे तो आपको पता है आपके पास कितने पैसे आएंगे? मैंने कहा कितने आएंगे? कम से कम 50 लाख रुपए की नौकरी लगेगी। मैंने कहा अंकल बिल्कुल करेक्ट है। नाउ they're not wrong, right? Because they want, a
Right.
safe, secured future for their kids. But I was looking at it from a very different perspective. I was very happy back then. I am very happy now as well. I mean, nothing's changed. You remember the first show I did for artistlaw.com. I was excited as a child. I'm still excited as a child. Nothing's changed. Of course, the money's changed and things have changed around me.
Of course.
So it was a very, very important decision because I had to back it up. There was no going back. मुझे आज भी याद है, मैं सबको ये बोलता था, अगर मैं फेल हो जाता ना बॉम्बे में, मेरे कजन्स ने मेरा जीना हराम कर देता था। तो देखा अरे बॉम्बे में रोज हजारों लोग जाते हैं यार, मतलब ऐसे ही होता कुछ। So yeah, I think I just followed my heart, यार. I mean, there's nothing more to it. I just followed my heart.
Tell me something, Gunjan. So we, having built the whole independent platform, we meet a lot of artists, especially who come from different parts of the country to Bombay. Most of them, of course, trying to make it in Bollywood, and then they realize कि चलो हमें कुछ और भी करना पड़ेगा, and then they become session musicians and all of those other kind of things. The competition is growing really bad, right? I mean, it at least before the COVID hit us, people were really getting extremely competitive, and in your field, it is as much. Have you ever felt a sense of insecurity और वो अंकल की याद आ जाती है क्या कभी-कभी उसमें?
यार मेरे को एक बार था, ये बहुत पुरानी बात है, मैं ना महीने में कुछ 5,000 रुपए कमाता था. I'm not too sure if you're supposed to do English. I mean, I just switch over languages.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm sharing. So मुझे याद है तो कुछ 4-5 हज़ार रुपए बनते थे. ये 2004 की बात है और लाइफ होती थी बहुत सुपर है. Because this was your pocket money, and I was like, dude, अगर मुझे 20,000 रुपए महीने के मिल गए, I'm set for life. The day I'm going to be 20 grand a month, I'm going to be the king. I was always the king, but I was like, in my head, that will be like the epitome of success. उससे ऊपर कुछ नहीं चाहिए. और वो भी हो गया, तो ये बहुत जल्दी समझ में आ गया कि एक तो पैसे से कोई भी चीज वो हल नहीं होती है. So you got to chase something. But I think 2-3 बार हुआ यार. मैंने एक बार प्लान बी के बारे में सोचा कि अगर ये नहीं हुआ, because a lot of people, at that point of time when I was in Chandigarh, a lot of people would tell me, you're going in a wrong profession. 2-4 साल बाद लोग भूल जाएंगे, सबको नए लोग चाहिए होते हैं. Till the time you look good, only then people will hire you. And I was like, बात तो गलत तो कोई नहीं कर रहा. So while they were talking all those things, I was like, अच्छा, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to do? And I don't know what I said. You know what? I think irrespective of whatever happens to me, I will never have a plan B. Because plan B in my head was, that means I'm not sure of plan A, and I will never be focused on that plan. So I never had any backup plan. I just did not think of anything else. In fact, I was thinking about a lot of people. Somebody like Cyrus Brocha. I said, look at Cyrus Brocha. In terms of personality, there's a huge difference in Cyrus Brocha and Nikhil Chinappa. I've grown up watching them. Look at Amitabh Bachchan, who's at this age is also hosting. Look at Shekhar Suman. He's not a young guy. He rediscovered himself. So in my head, one thing was sure, I think these people are not able to see what it takes to be in this field. It's not the age and the looks only. Yes, it is important to enter, maybe. But in order to be in this industry, it takes much more than just the looks. So which I knew, right, from day one. And I was, maybe for a couple of years, I heard them and I'm like, okay, fair enough, because I was still young. But after a point of time, I was like, let them talk. You got to be thick-skinned for all of this. There are going to be people who are going to say, Mama कहते हैं, जितने मुंह उतनी बातें. तो लोग बोलते रहेंगे. सबका अपना नजरिया है, आपका अपना नजरिया है, मेरा अपना नजरिया है. So मैं क्यों उसमें आर्ग्यू करूं? आपके अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस होंगे.
दूसरा ये होता है कि nothing succeeds like success. एक बार आपको सक्सेस मिल जाती है तो सब सोचते हैं यही एक तरीका है, ये फॉर्मूला है. So that also becomes like your mother said, जितनी मुंह उतनी बातें. But another thing, Gunjan, is I don't want to talk about it particularly, but this whole thing about जो बॉम्बे से बाहर आते हैं और अपना करियर बनाते हैं, they reach. Have you faced any kind of those challenges?
I'll tell you, this is so funny, and and I'm glad that I'm having this conversation with you. Tell me something. Did I pay you anything to get me on board artistallowed.com?
No,
Am
absolutely
I
not.
am I am I somebody who was, who happened to be a popular actor's son? No, it just happened that I was focused on my work. There was an
Right,
opportunity. Another friend of
right,
ours, who's a common friend of ours, at that point of time, I think he missed his flight or something happened and he was not available, right? That's
right,
all. You guys were looking for another
right,
talent to fill in. I was there. You saw my work and you said, "Acha, isko bula lete hain." I still
right,
remember the first show. That show was with Tochi Raina. It was in
right.
Bandra. I went on stage for 5 minutes. I saw that you were sitting, and I was told that the big boss is sitting there. She's going to look at your work and probably agar अच्छा होगा और उनकी
Really?
expectation है because the other anchor who's been doing it for us, obviously he's a musician. He's been doing it for quite some time. So obviously he set a
Hmm.
benchmark. After the show, I remember you coming and you're like, I want to see you in all our shows, right?
Right. No, absolutely,
That's exactly what
absolutely. Yeah.
happens in the industry. That's exactly what has happened with me in every show of mine. Every show of mine. In fact, I remember my first ever show. I remember I'd gone for an audition. मैं एक ad के audition के लिए गया था. I don't know if people outside Bombay are watching this. There is a place called Shriji. वहाँ पे ना ऊपर बहुत सारे ऐसे छोटे-छोटे cabins तो नहीं कहूँगा, offices बने हुए हैं जहाँ पे सबके
Right.
audition हैं. So I was supposed to go in, let's say, 73. I don't remember. I think I went to 93 and I said, यार यहाँ पे वो audition हो रहा है. He said, ये तो नहीं हो रहा, ये हो रहा है. आप ठीक लग रहे हो. Why don't you audition for this? I said, यार मैं वो करके आता हूँ अगर ऐसा ही है. I went for the ad audition. I came back, did my first audition there. I never got the ad, but I got the first ever opportunity, which was Colors Prime Time Amna Samna.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Every
I
single
think
opportunity.
luck, yeah, luck plays so much of a part, but I mean, the way I look at it is, it is talent, hard work, and luck favors when you have the first two, in high capacity. I mean, if you're not talented, you definitely cannot, luck will not favor.
I would put it in a very different way. I don't know what luck is because I don't follow any of this thing. I don't disregard any of the science behind all of this thing. The only thing which works in your favor is your own passion, your persistence कि मेरे को क्या चाहिए, मेरे को कितना चाहिए. अगर मैं सुबह
Right,
शाम उसके पीछे लगा हुआ हूँ, वो मुझे मिल जाएगा.
right,
So
right.
you want to give that, a name कि ये किस्मत थी, right time, right opportunity, etc. Whatever you want to name it, you can name it. At the end of the day,
Correct.
I wanted to be an anchor, and I remember this very clearly. I went in for the audition. I said, "What is the show?" He said, "This is the show." I said, "Where's the script?" He gave me a script. It was a two-page script. I looked at it and I said, "I'm ready." I think I didn't even look at.
Mhm.
Read it for about 2 minutes, and he said, "It's a two-page monologue. Are you ready?" I said, "हाँ, मतलब इसमें पढ़ना क्या है?" मैं तो समझ गया. And so he thought that आया पंजाब से फुका, something. I said, "I got it. I got the gist of it. I'm ready for the thing." And I gave the audition. I still remember his expression. He was like shocked कि ये क्या हुआ है, किसी ने 2 पेज में ऐसे कर दिया. And I said, "I'm really sorry यार. I apologize. वो ना, I think मेरे ना थोड़ा एनर्जी कम रह गया." And he said, "नहीं सर, जो
Mhm.
हमको चाहिए था मिल गया." I said, "तेरे को मिल गया, मेरे हिसाब से भी कर दे." So I'm just saying
Huh.
that things I just wanted to do. I remember when I met you also, there were a lot of ideas which I had, which I wanted to do.
Yes,
I
yes,
just wanted
yes.
to do those things. I was least interested in anything. I was least interested in knowing who was hosting the show before. I was least interested
Of
in
course.
knowing. I was only interested,
Yeah,
yeah, मेरे पास idea है, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? And because that is what I live every single day, so
yeah.
somewhere it just happens. It just happens.
It's a little like, the story of Mahabharata, right? Where you say Arjuna, he had his eye on that, on the, I think it was the apple or was the bird of I mean, the eye of the bird.
Idea क्या?
Huh. But tell me this: have you ever, do you feel that every project you do, whether it's anchoring for a show or doing a television, show, or even what you've done with the film fair or any of the awards as well, do you feel that the process of getting a project still requires you to do, a lot of effort? I mean, do you have a lot of PR and your own kind of I don't know. I'm just trying to understand how does that happen? How has your journey been in getting every project that you've been
So the
getting?
journey is going to be different for every person. If a person believes that going to a party will get him a job, then only that is the only way which will get him a job, because that's his belief.
Right.
It will work for
Right.
him. I remember I came to Bombay. A friend of mine got the opportunity after sixth day.
Okay.
Sixth day he bagged the show. I can't even believe कि उसको छठे दिन काम मिल गया मेन लीड शो में, और मुझे 1.5 साल तक काम नहीं मिला था. It's a
Right.
different process, right? So I don't believe
Hmm.
what works for me will work for you, or vice versa. There are different ways how you get work. One of them, the simplest way, is obviously the auditions, etc. But this is a city where almost every second person is in the field of media and entertainment. You will bump into a lot of people, and if you're good at your job, the word's going to spread. It's going to take some time, but you're going to
Hmm.
reach everywhere. So I don't drink, I don't
Hmm.
smoke, I don't go to parties. I mean, there's hardly. I'm someone who's very reserved. It's a very different
Right.
personality when I'm on camera. Otherwise, I'm a very shy guy. I'm into myself, in my
Right.
own small world where I'm happy to read, sleep, watch my films at my own place. I don't go anywhere. I actually don't
Right.
socialize. A lot of people think there's great PR. I think what you really really need to do is, and this is something, if there are youngsters who really want to be in this industry, which they all forget, or probably they don't even focus on, is work ethics. Nobody teaches you
Yeah.
work. People teach you skills. People teach you. आपको acting school में acting सिखा देंगे. आपको work ethics नहीं सिखाएगा. This is
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
which a lot of people don't realize. People don't want to work only with stars or popular people. Stars is somebody who can get more eyeballs and can get more attention, etc. People want to
Yeah.
work with people who can make their job easy,
Very true. Very true.
and that only comes from really highest level of work ethics. If that is sorted,
Uh, so tell me, Gunjan, if you were to give it like 4 to 5 tips to new talent who are coming into the city and trying to make it, or even trying to make it in entertainment. Today, everyone's trying to make it digitally. If you were to break it down to 4 to 5 tips, what would you suggest?
first up, which I think मैंने शुरुआत में नहीं किया. I think I regret नहीं करूँगा. I think वो learning ही थी. पहले तो innovations नहीं होने चाहिए. मेरे को मालूम है, मैं जब बॉम्बे आया था, I was like मैं ये करूँगा, मैं ये नहीं करूँगा, which is fine. You got to be sure of the kind of shows you'll do. Like I never wanted to be a hero का दोस्त. I said नहीं, मेरे को hero बनना, मेरे को hero का दोस्त नहीं बनना. In my head, I was like, it's
Mm.
okay. Whatever you might think of me, I may be not I may not be capable at this point of time. But so I was very selective of the projects I wanted to be. For me, I'll give you. So I don't know if they will be valid for other people or not. For me,
Sure.
there were few things which were very important. One, the people I was working with. I got a lot of
Mm.
opportunities, but I thought that those projects were the projects which were not, my heart wasn't in it. तो मैंने वो कभी
Mm.
किया, irrespective of the money or the fame, मैं उसमें गया ही नहीं कभी. दूसरा, I was also sure of the people I wanted to work with. If I ever felt कि कुछ मुझे अजीब लग रहा है, I respectfully decline that offer, because for us, we're creative people. Once you
Right.
end up at a job, it's not a 2 hours job. It's going to be months.
Right.
We're going to be hooked up together, brainstorming, etc., etc. We're going to learn from each other.
Right.
So for me,
Right.
that meant much more than anything else. And I did not come to Bombay to get money or fame. I just wanted to be on a stage. That's all. So for me, if I wanted to be on stage,
Yeah.
I wanted to be around, amazing, talented, driven people. That's all.
Mm. Mm.
And I also thought, which obviously, thanks to my parents, because that is what they've taught me, to be disciplined and have, highest level of, work ethics. If you've committed something, you got to. So I haven't changed, right? In 10, 12 years, 10 years in Bombay now,
No.
I haven't changed. I mean, probably
Yeah.
you would know कितना बदला हूं या नहीं बदला.
Yes. नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं, बिल्कुल
मुझे
बदला
ऐसा
नहीं हो.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं वैसे ही हूं. So yeah, things haven't changed.
Absolutely.
So if you could just keep those 3-4 things, everything else is just a byproduct. It might happen the first day when you arrive in Bombay. It might just happen after 5th year. I don't know. As long as I am doing something which I love, I really don't care.
Yeah.
genuinely
I
don't
think
care.
I can see that's like a common thread throughout your life. I mean, even when it came to the decision of whether I should do IIM or not, it was on the basis of will I enjoy it? Will I be happy? So I think the underlying thing
In
is
fact,
always I need to be happy.
I'll tell you what. You remember? This was 2011, yeah, when we did that.
Yeah, new this week.
लोग तो वेबिनार अब कर रहे हैं, हमने तो मतलब कब से कर दिए।
I know.
तो लोग अब जा रहे हैं डिजिटल कॉन्सर्ट करने में। हमने कहा हमने
I
2011 में
know.
जब लोग कहते थे, जब लोग YouTube को भी उतना नहीं जानते थे। For me, and I remember this thing, our friend Deepika, who said that this is an opportunity, etc., etc. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. She's like, अरे मैं बता रही हूँ, but TV पे नहीं आता, because I was shooting on colors. She's like, you know what, dude, you're doing a show on colors.
Yeah.
You're a big guy. This is only going to be YouTube. I said, yeah, who cares? I said, I'm going to be on stage, right? She said, yeah. I said, there's going to be camera, right? Yeah. So somebody's going to watch it. Yeah. And she said, he's a singer. And I said, I love him. I mean, just to be on the same stage, it's going to be amazing. So for me,
But Gunjan, I have to tell you, it's so lovely to hear you say this, but I think we were the ones who lucked out that you agreed to come and do it, because it just took the entire content creation process into another level for us.
No, but I also want to thank you, because I remember I would come up with really, I mean, उस समय bizarre ही होते थे यार, क्योंकि ये भी कर दें, वो भी कर दें, ऐसे भी कर दें, like एक वेब शो से शुरू किया था, ऐसे यार एक टॉक शो बना दें, and you said क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, and I mean, hats off to you, you gave us that whole freedom के चलो यार कर दो जैसे करना, तुमको क्या चाहिए मेरे को बताओ, मैं कर देती हूँ. I'll give you all the support.
I think then, even the team, I mean, like Deepika, I mean, we know she's really doing well for herself right now. But I think, for me, right from the day when I started that till date, I've always looked at how the people who are with me can actually add to what we're doing. And some of them have done it, Even the business that I have built has evolved because of the different people that have come into the team. They've unfortunately left, but, each one comes, leaves something behind and goes off. So I feel, like they say, God gets people into your life because they're supposed to add something to it, But okay, I have to ask you this. I mean, this was a question that was in my mind. I saw the event that happened in Chandigarh recently, which was basically to explain the whole SOPs with regards to bringing events back.
Yeah.
How has the situation been? I mean, I think if there are artists who get to see this interview later, it'll be so nice for them to understand and even know if there's hope for them to come back into what, they were doing.
I'm telling you, this is a very different thing. Like in 14 years of my professional working career, I've never had a break. Never had a break. Never had an off season. God was very kind. I've never said no to work. When I said no to work, is anything which I've loved, I have always made time for it. Even if I'm juggling 3 shows a day, and I remember this thing very clearly. In 2012, I was shooting for 3 shows back to back. I was in Mahalakshmi shooting your show. Before that, I remember from 5 o'clock to about 10 o'clock, I would be shooting for Amna Samna. I would come to Mahalakshmi Famous Studio. I would do your chat shows. I would leave by 6:30, 7 o'clock, go to Bandra Mehboob Studio and shoot for another show, which was Sitare Masti Mein for Masti. Because, I was presented with this opportunity. I didn't want to leave. And I was just, running around, etc. A lot of people think also, I mean, of course, it's not just a question you asked, but then I'm saying, a lot of people also think, "Arey yaar, isko to mil gaya yaar. Iski to nikal padi." A lot of people don't realize what it takes to fulfill those commitments, and
of course, and
to do those, show. It was a 33-day show shoot, I remember.
Ouch.
And I also was it 33? No, 33 episodes, 11-day back to back. It was, I think, only on one episode I missed out, which was, I think, with Mr. Shankar Mahadevan at that point of time. And I felt so bad. I said, "Yaar, ye nahi ho pa raha." So we had to get another friend of ours to that show. And I'm just saying, a lot of people don't realize what it takes to be there. A lot of people think, "Acha, iske Instagram pe itne followers hain, iske he's a famous father's son, etc., etc. Maybe he's rich." What it takes to be here is far more than all of this. Now, coming back to your question of COVID times, etc., I think it's been a very challenging time because it is the first time. It's not that a
Hmm.
single artist was out of work or it was a off season. The
Yeah.
industry
Yeah.
was shut. Nobody had, like, after 20 25 days, when it actually kicked in, because for the first 21 days everybody was excited. हाँ ठीक है, 21 दिन की बात है, उसके बाद तो खुल जाएगा,
Uh,
back to normal, अच्छा
right.
हुआ, ब्रेक मिल गया, ऑफ सीजन था, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, अप्रैल में वैसे भी काम नहीं करते, 2 महीने की बात है. After a month and a half, two, people were like, boss, shows were canceling, and up till December my calendar got wiped out of live shows.
Ouch.
Now, more
Okay.
than financial hit, I just didn't have any place to go to perform. And this
Hmm.
is what happened for a lot of artists, a lot of
Right.
technicians, people who've been
Right.
on the move, for years. We all live out of our suitcases. Every second day, we're in a different city. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, more than the fact that we were sitting, on our couches and doing nothing, the
Hmm.
fact that people, because artists come alive only when they perform.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and the fact that we did not have any hope, that
Yeah.
started thinking, and it was a ripple effect. It was a bad. It started to affect me for sure. I mean, I'm going to accept it. After about 2.5 months, it started to affect me. Even though I was trying to keep myself busy by creating content, and I was busy. I know a lot. Like a lot of friends, of mine told me, यार मुझे पता ही नहीं है स्टेज पे जाके करना क्या है. और
Hmm.
पहले ऐसा होता था कि मार्केट में काम होता था, लेकिन किसी कारण से आपके पास है, किसी और के पास काम नहीं है, लेकिन मार्केट में काम था.
Hmm.
अभी तो काम भी नहीं है. अब कोई भी काम नहीं कर रहा.
Right.
अब काम की कोई डिस्कशन नहीं कर रहा. पहले क्या होता था, अगर मैं काम नहीं कर रहा हूँ, आप काम करें, कम से कम डिस्कशन तो होगी काम के बारे में. अब कोई काम के बारे में
Right.
डिस्कस नहीं कर रहा, कोई क्रिएटिविटी के बारे में बात नहीं कर रहा. लोगों को पता नहीं है, कितने सारे लोग हैं जिन्होंने सिर्फ अपने स्किल और टैलेंट पे ध्यान दिया, जो टेक्निकली इतने साउंड नहीं थे, उन्हें नहीं पता कैसे करना है. अच्छा, घर से कैसे कर सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या नहीं कर सकते हैं. It took a big toll. I mean, the event industry is 5 lakh crore industry.
Yeah.
It employs more than 1 crore direct people who are employed, and more than 10 crore people who are indirectly employed to this industry. It's shut.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
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 So I think that a lot. So it's not just an event and an entertainment thing. A lot of people felt. In fact, I remember this. Krishna, a singer, he had shared this article where it said that the industries which are non-essential. Number one was entertainment, and I said, boss, अगर इस लॉकडाउन में इंटरनेट नहीं होता ना, और ये जो
I
आप
swear.
लगे हुए हैं, जो देख रहे हैं, वो नहीं होता ना, तो लोग सड़क
Correct.
पे होते हैं 10 दिन के अंदर.
Bilkul, bilkul, no doubt about that. Tell me, but I remember, you were doing a few content for Geo, if I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
mistaken, right?
I did the
Was
show called,
this?
yeah,
Yeah, sorry, you created a show called
Chalk and Cheese.
Chuck and Cheese, exactly. Yeah. So this was part of your new production company,
Yeah,
Fresh Baked
I
Entertainment.
have a company called Freshly Baked Entertainment.
Freshly
We
Baked, yeah,
used a show called Bubble Bath for Z5, which also won
right,
the MTV, IWM Digital Awards. So we were supposed
right,
to shoot season 2, yeah. I mean, the dates were locked for season 2 of Bubble Bath. Lockdown हो गया, and I said, अब
right,
क्या करें? तो ऐसा कुछ करते हैं, बैठे रहेंगे तो कुछ बनेगी नहीं बात यार. And I was
right.
like, and again, not thinking of anything outside कि लोग क्या कहेंगे, क्या नहीं है. In my head, I was like, अच्छा यार, मेरे को एक शो बनाना है, ऐसा कर सकते हैं, engaging, entertaining. अच्छा, गेम शो बनाते हैं. So I was working on it for about 7 8 days, 10 days to crack that format. I cracked that format and I started shooting for it. Little did I know, when it released, it was India's first ever show to be created under lockdown. I didn't know that because
Oh wow. Okay.
shooting बंद हो गई, सब कुछ बंद हो गया. People had no idea
Correct.
कि क्या दिखा सकते हैं, तो वो reruns चल रहे थे, and I was busy creating my own stuff. So it became India's first ever show to be created under lockdown. Again, that was not the intent. We recently won
Right.
the ScreenX Awards for the best game show. Again, that was not the intent. The intent was simple, to just create an engaging content to keep myself busy.
Right. Right.
Also, आपको पता ही है मैं ऐसे बैठ नहीं सकता, मुझे कुछ ना कुछ करने की आदत है. और दूसरा ये था कि we wanted to also create awareness and create raise funds. So I collaborated with my sister's company JLT. We raised funds for COVID-19. And also thanks to Geo, they came on board. They loved the idea. They came on board. They took the show. and whatever money we made, we gave it away for charity. And the best part is, thanks to Jio, they've got amazing reach. So millions and millions of people across, the country saw that show. They loved it, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah. No, I think it was really sweet. The format was really sweet, and I mean, like you said, you were thinking of how do you keep yourself busy, and it's a case of necessity being, the mother of invention, thinking out of the box. And I mean, you've always been that, right? You've always looked at how can you look at an idea and just add more to it. But where do you see it going now? I mean, the fact that EMA has, is trying to do this, and now the government has allowed about 100, 200 capacity. Are you hopeful that things will slowly get back to shape? Have you been doing some work?
They are not that much, but they are. I'll put it. I think if I'm not wrong, they've increased the slab to 200, which still doesn't work for anybody's favor. It's like telling, you make a film and you showcase it to only, let's say, 100,000 people. It just doesn't work that way, because the cost of producing that, film is still going to be the same.
Right.
So I think, if I'm not wrong, I'm not sure if that, notification has been passed, that the event industry suggested that we could, come up with a suggestion that whatever the venue's capacity is, we could do it at 50%. Because that works. So, for example, if a venue can accommodate 4,000 people, we're happy to do it with, 1,000 people, which just makes sense. Because today, if you look at it, in an airplane, you want 180 people sitting just right next to each other. जैसे ही plane land होता है, सबकी social distancing कहाँ चली जाती है, मुझे नहीं पता लगता. Like I've taken so many flights in the past 2 months, yaar. People have opened up, people are lining up, in buses and public transport. With utmost respect, I'm saying they had to open up. Now restaurants have opened up, cinemas have opened up. So I'm hopeful. I think हो चुका है, मेरे को मालूम नहीं है. But अभी भी ना, more than the notification, it's also to do with, people's courage. The corporates were stepping out, because till the time, they're going to come out and start doing events. So it's an effect which has started to happen. Private events have started to happen. A few other events have happened where earlier it was all live, then it became all digital. Now it's become some live, some bit of digital. We're adapting, and I'm just hopeful. I don't know what other people say. I think I'm very hopeful that in a couple of months probably we'll be back on track. It could be sooner also. It all depends on the sentiment of the market, as they say. एक domino effect होता है यार. कोई एक करता है तो फिर लगता है चलो कर सकते हैं, और फिर लगता है कि किया जा सकता है.
Everyone's waiting to see कि पहला step कौन लेगा. I mean, I saw for myself, a couple of days back, I've literally not been stepping out the house. I think over the last 8 months, मैं गिन चुन के शायद 10-15 बार बाहर गई हूँ. It's like that. क्योंकि ऑफिस का काम तो सब लैपटॉप पे हो रहा है. Everything is like pretty much, I mean, our work has not stopped. We stopped going to office, in fact, 2 weeks before the official lockdown happened. But what I was really happy to see when I went out the day before, I was out for about 2 hours. I was in my car. I wasn't even in public. Everybody was wearing masks. And I was really happy to see that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if that is going to be one way to really keep people safe. I just hope everybody just follows it blindly and just does it,
See, fear is not the answer for anything. We've seen that. We've tried that for a couple of months. We were inside for like what? Since March, everybody's been inside, right? A lot of people who've been able, who are, I would say, social distancing is luxury in this country. A lot of people who've been lucky enough to sit at home and work. Fair enough, great. Yeah. For a lot of people, it's not, an opportunity. They have to step out to work. Yeah. There's no other way.
Correct.
So you got to be very careful of how you conduct your life. It's as simple as that till the time, But I mean, if people are watching it, people who are influential, who have the decision-making powers, I think if public transport is open, and if places of recreation are open now, that restaurants and cinema, I think events also should open up, because it is very important. Because let's accept it, the vaccines come up anytime soon. There are things which also add positivity to the universe. Let's accept it, and art is one of those things which just adds a lot of positivity. If that also starts to happen, who knows? We might be able to be in a different state of mind. Right now, everybody is in the state of fear. a bit of negativity. Slowly and steadily, you might just see, some concert happening here, some event happening here, maybe a couple of films releasing in cinema, maybe a few people stepping out. Now, if you go out and you see restaurants are filled. Bombay,
Wow.
traffic is packed. I'd gone for a rehearsal today, and I was like, I thought
Hmm.
Saturday afternoon, I was not expecting it.
Yeah, I think it's somebody has to kind of pave the way, and people will follow. But yeah, I think if you're all going to be safe, because the truth is that there's a 50% chance you'll get it, there's a 50% chance you won't. So we can't just be waiting and seeing kya hota hai. Life
Huh.
has to go on,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So, Gunjan, it's been such an amazing time talking to you. But before we sign off, I always ask the guests, what does make it myself mean to you?
अरे यार, आप मेरे से ना ऐसे डीप वाले काम कराते हो मेरे को, मैं हंसी मजाक करते हो बहुत डीप बातें बोल लेता हूँ.
Oh, God. You're living it, man. I think make it myself is something you're living, but I'd love to.
I'm living it. I mean, so many. I mean, I can't, like, every time I sit in an aircraft on that business class seat, where it is a full bed, the first two thoughts are very clear. I mean, I share it with a lot of friends. Ke pehla cheez to thank you for, thank you
Yeah.
God for making me reach there, because I'm not interested in that business class seat. I mean, it's a, or least I'm interested in. The only thing which is with that business class seat, is a testimony of the fact that, अगर आप मेहनत करोगे ना तो आप पहुंच जाओगे.
Yeah.
लेकिन मेरे को
Correct.
वो जो दूसरा थॉट हमेशा आता है ना, वो आता है कि याद है जब तू चंडीगढ़ में रहता था, so I used to go to Dehradun to do my live shows, and I'm
Mm.
not 350 रुपए चंडीगढ़ में मिलते थे. किसी ने बोला देहरादून में करने आओगे, मैंने कहा हाँ जी आएंगे. तो 500 रुपए मिलते
Mm.
थे, और मैं चंडीगढ़
Mm.
रोडवेज बस में बैठ के अपना बैग ऐसे रखता था और ऐसे सोता था, क्योंकि सुबह 7 बजे की बस. और आई वुड गो टू देहरादून. I would eat some breakfast in Saharanpur. रास्ते में बस रुकती थी. I would go to Dehradun, and mind you, if someone's paying you $500 to perform, they won't give you a hotel and other things. You'll have to manage on your own.
Yeah.
So I remember going to a
Yeah.
public room, changing my clothes, getting ready for the show. Show किया और अपना शो खत्म किया. रात को बस स्टैंड वापस आ जाते थे, क्योंकि वो बस सुबह 5 बजे चंडीगढ़ जानी, तो मैं रात को उसमें सोता था बस में. एंड मेरे को कभी 1 रुपए का भी, जिसे कहते हैं ना, कभी दुख नहीं हुआ कि यार ये क्या. आई यूज्ड टू एंजॉय इट, और मैं ऐसे
Right.
आराम से, आई यूज्ड टू एंजॉय दैट लाइफ, बिकॉज माय ओनली first and only interest was I'm getting an opportunity to be on stage. How
Right.
I'm traveling, where am I traveling, etc., hotels, etc. Now these are all byproducts of what I do now. But
Yep.
I was just thrilled to be on a stage as much as I am right now. So, that is what I would feel, that, I always feel very blessed. Yeah, I got great opportunities to work with phenomenal people who
Right.
believed in me, who believed in, my silly ideas, who said, "Acha, chalo karte hain." Yeah, and that's all. So, I don't know, yaar. I mean, also when I saw this thing, I'm sorry, am I just taking a couple of more minutes? When you
No,
said
of course not.
Bombay, and I'm like, yaar, यहाँ पे सारे outsiders हैं यार. Who is an insider? There might be a handful of people who are all insiders. Everybody
That's
else. The reality, I really, there are times I laugh. I said, look at Instagram influencers. They're all outsiders. Look at these,
Yeah.
OTT stars. Somebody like Bhuvan Bam or a Prajakta. They're all outsiders. Look at television industry for
Very
years. All been outsiders. Look at the
Very
current
true.
generation of actors, from a Karthik Aryan to a Tapsi Pannu. Everybody's an outsider. Deepika Padukone to a Priyanka Chopra. Everybody's been an outsider. Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan, they've been an outsider. Yeah. So आप किसकी
Correct.
बात कर रहे हो? तो जब ये सब
Correct.
चीजें होती हैं, तो मेरे जहन में सिर्फ एक चीज याद आती है, जो मैंने एक स्कूल में पढ़ा था. Obstacles are those things which you see when you're not focusing on the goal.
That's so beautifully put. So true.
So
Yeah.
when you're not focusing on your craft, when you're not focusing कि यार मेरा acting कहाँ जा रहा है, कि मेरे को acting करनी है. अच्छा, मैं अपने this is for actor, कि मैं और craft में क्या कर सकता हूँ. अच्छा, मैं गायकी में क्या
Right.
कर सकता हूँ, मैं और अच्छा performance कैसे कर सकता हूँ, मैं अपना live show और अच्छा कैसे कर सकता हूँ, मैं digital content. जब आप इन चीजों पे ध्यान नहीं देते ना, फिर आप वो देखते हैं अरे यार उसका बेटा वो है, अरे उसने पैसे खिलाए होंगे. So then you start talking about these stupid things, and which is not the
Very
truth.
true. Very,
It's actually not the
yeah,
truth. It might be maybe a percentage
yeah.
here, but it's not the truth.
No, I think you couldn't have said it any more beautiful. I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. But thank you so much, Gunjan. It was such a pleasure, and I'm really hoping, because I think there's so much that we've heard from you. And two things I'll really take away is have a passion and do what makes you happy. Right?
Yep.
All right. Good night, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Soumi. Thank
Bye.
you very much. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.